Do you need to start beating your opponents and gaining chess elo? These 5 traps will help you checkmate your opponents in 3 to 10 moves. This first trap is actually well known, so not many people will fall for it, but if you are a low rated player you can try it. It starts with e4d and you simply get your queen out to h5, and here some people will play this move, pawn to g6, which is obviously a blunder because check, and then we will take the rook and win the game. But still, if your opponent plays this move, trying to defend this pawn, you can still play this move. Bishop to c4, threatening checkmate. And if he doesn't see it, then there you go, you won the game. That's probably a good trap for players from 700 to 900, maybe 1000 elo. So if you're higher rated than that, don't try it, because getting your queen out in the first 2 moves is not a good idea. Okay guys, so the second trap is very interesting. So I'm an intermediate player, as I said, and our goal is to reach 2000 rating, so I'm learning with you. And I discovered this opening in which there is a very beautiful trap. The opening is called Ponziani, and it's played with the white pieces. And here how it goes: e4, e5, knight out, we go here, and here we play this odd looking move, c3. Then we have this. Here I think we play this. And in a trap, we're waiting for our opponent to make a mistake. If he plays the right moves, there's no trap, because we're waiting for him to make an error, okay? And the error here is there's a free pawn. If black goes for this free pawn, then he's most likely gonna get fucked, because we're gonna push this pawn, not take this pawn, just push the pawn and put a lot of pressure on the horse. Now the horse, if he goes here, it's trapped, because there's this, and now the horse is trapped. Cannot go here because it will be taken, and we're already winning. So the knight has to go back here, or maybe here, but it's bad, so any player with a mind will go back here. And now we're gonna play this move, knight takes e5. Okay, now is the blow. If our opponent plays this logical, it looks logical, okay, logical move, d6, then he's fucked, he's done, okay, because we have bishop check, and here there are many possibilities, but in all possibilities are, as the bar suggests, we are winning. The first possibility is that he blocks with the pawn, and then there's this, and the king has no escape, so he has to lose the queen and lose the game. The second option, that seems less scary, but it's actually much scarier, is this move. If our opponent plays this move, then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this pawn. And now if he takes with the horse, then we have this, and we fork, and we take the rook or the horse, and because there is check. And if he doesn't take with the horse, if they take the knight, we can simply take the pawn with check, with tempo, and in the next move we're gonna make the queen. So maybe this, and he cannot even take because we have this queen on the d file. So it's a very beautiful opening that aims at taking the center, but if this move order happens and your opponent fucks up, you have to use this trap. So if there's no trap, the Ponziani will simply try to take the center with these moves. This next trap is also played with the white pieces against the Caro-Kann. The Caro-Kann, for people who don't know, is when the opponent with the black pieces tries to play these moves, so c6 and d5. So here's how it goes. So we have e4, and here, then we take the knight out, Caro-Kann as we said, and here we will play queen to e2. As you can see, the bar is not reacting in a good way because it's a trap. We're setting a trap. It's not a perfect opening. It's not theory. We're setting a trap and we want our opponent to blunder so that we could win. But if you're trying to set up a trap, you have to accept that you could end up in a worse position if your opponent discovers this trap. But in this situation, he probably won't because in the Karokan, you will have to take this pawn. So if you're playing against an intermediate player, he will probably take this pawn. Now you'll have to take with this horse. And now let's go through what's going on in your opponent's head. He's trying to kick this knight out of the e4 square, right? So he probably wants to play this move, or maybe another move, maybe this move. But if he plays knight to f6, he doesn't like it, because if we take the knight, he cannot take with this pawn, because my queen is pinning the pawn. So he will have to take with this pawn, and now the structure of his king side pawns is very bad, and his king will not be safe for the rest of the game, so he's not comfortable with that. And that's why he's thinking about preparing another move. He's thinking about this move, preparing for this, so that after I take his knight, he will take back with the knight, which is a good idea, unless you get checkmated. So if you play it actually, I have this devastating move, knight to d6, checkmate. You cannot take. Your king is smothered. It's called the smothered mate. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the third trap. Okay, so now we finally have the black pieces and we're gonna play the Blackburn Chilling Gambit. And here's how it goes. First, very simple moves. And then here, here, here. And now we're gonna play a stupid move, but probably our opponent is more stupid than us. So in this position, we're hoping that he takes on e5. Once he takes on e5, we go queen to g5. In this position, if he doesn't go for the free pawn, which is the goal of our gambit, because remember guys, we're waiting for our opponent to make a mistake. That's how traps work. Because if your opponent doesn't make a mistake, it's not a trap and you're gonna suffer. So if your opponent takes this pawn, it's a happy Sunday. We're doing well. However, if he takes our knight, then we have to take with a pawn and simply play the game of chess. He has a small advantage, and that's a calculated risk for you because you chose to try for the gambit and for the trap. But still, you're not 100% losing here. It's still equal material. You can develop your bishop, your knight, and play a good game. So let's go back to the main line. So here he goes for the free pawn, which is very logical. So now we go queen here. And as you can see, now he has this very, very beautiful attack going on for him. And now he's going to be greedy. And that's what we want. We want our opponent to be stupid and greedy. And he takes on here, supported by the bishop. And now he's focusing the queen and the rook. And he thinks he's smart. Well, he's not. Because now we simply go queen takes g2. Threatening to take this rook with check, and it's gonna be a mess if that happens. So if he goes, for example, take the rook, then we go here, then here, then here, then here, and it's a mess, and he's gonna lose. 1000% he's gonna lose. But he's probably not going to do that. For example, think about a move here. Of course, if you're white, you're probably gonna play this move. But it's losing, still losing, because I have this move. Queen to e4 check. Now, if you're gonna block with the queen, you can do that. But you're simply gonna lose the queen and lose the game. Well, then it's better to block with a bishop, right? No, absolutely not, because now we have mate in one. Checkmate. And that's the Blackburn Shilling trap. So last but not least, we reached the final trap with the black pieces. If you reached this point of the video, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I hope you can smash the subscribe button below so that I can make more of this content and study at the same time and make some money out of YouTube. So I really appreciate it. And now to our last trap. So our opponent plays the normal, very popular move d4. In this case, we're gonna play this move. Knight to f6. Then we're gonna have this move. If your opponent with the white pieces plays this move, then the trap is 90% gonna happen. Especially if you're a player between 900 or below, even 1200, your opponent surely can fall for this trap. So if he plays this move preparing for this, and it's common. It's not very common, but it happens. So if he plays this move, you're probably gonna get him. So at this point, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna push this pawn. Take it. Take the free pawn. He's gonna take it. And now we're gonna run with the knight here, which is not a great idea unless we have a trap. And now he's gonna try to kick the knight out. So he's gonna push the pawn. And that's the trap. Because now we have this great move, knight to e3. Now he's gonna take and lose the game. Because check with the queen, the only way to block it is pawn to g3. But still, the checkmate is unstoppable. And that's the Budapest trap. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you learned some traps. I hope you can use them to your advantage to gain more elo. And remember, guys, you don't enter the game forcing the trap. You just play your normal opening. And if you see the trap, then you can consider going for it. But don't start the game focusing 1000% on the trap. That way, in most of the cases, you're gonna end up with a worse position. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below.